Well, hello, everybody. This is an interesting one. I know I've talked about rabies a couple times if you've seen my short stuff over the past few weeks. One, I was talking about rabies, and from what I understood, at least from the research I had done, only one person had ever survived of rabies. Come to find out, I was wrong on that number. Semantics. More than one person has survived rabies. It's been about, from what I can tell, three or four. Like it's not still not much. It's not like it's a drastic number. The Milwaukee protocol, where basically they lower your body temperature and put you into a coma so your brain doesn't, you know, destroy itself when it fights off the virus. That's been used, and I was under the assumption from something that I had watched that you die, or not you die, but you get brain injuries, like severe brain injuries, and you're not the same. And then I had the third person to ever survive in the U.S. message me on Instagram, and she was like, I don't have any brain injuries, and I was like, oh well, sorry about that. So I had to look it up, like look up her name to even find it. The reason I bring that up is because rabies moose, rabid moose, found stumbling and drooling profusely in first case ever recorded in Alaska. Scientists analyzed the moose brain and detected a variant of rabies usually found in Arctic foxes, suggesting it contracted the virus from a fox. I mean, that's pretty safe to assume. If it's in Alaska and it's a moose that got rabies, and the rabies is usually found in the Arctic foxes, I mean, it makes sense. Scientists have confirmed the first ever case of rabies in an Alaskan moose after a diseased animal stumbled into a small community and charged at residents while drooling profusely. The moose was euthanized shortly after it wandered into Teller, western Alaska, on June 2nd. The moose was unbalanced, stumbling, drooling profusely, and had bare patches of skin. Doug Vincent Lang, the commissioner of Alaska's Department of Fish and Game, wrote in a statement. The animal was acting aggressively towards people. Necropsy later detected rabies virus in the moose's brain. Scientists at the Center of Disease Control and Prevention confirmed the finding on June 6th. Wow. Okay, well, rabies is still... Rabies is an insane virus. Once you get it, you don't know until you get symptoms, which could be days, it could be weeks. And then when you show symptoms, it's too far gone. You're dead. And if you don't have this one crazy thing, if you don't get the vaccine and you can't get the Milwaukee protocol, you are dead. There are videos of children that I've seen that had rabies. Very sad. It was hydrophobic, meaning that basically the disease. I forgot what the exact reasoning was. It has to do with the saliva. Rabies is a virus that spreads through saliva and can occur in warm-blooded mammals. Rabid animals often become aggressive and salivate excessively or foam at the mouth. They appear to be shaking or having seizures and display bite marks. Animals infected with the virus have become behave abnormally, sometimes chewing on rocks and other non-food items. So I think it basically it wants to be in a higher concentration in the saliva because that's how it gets transferred. So it causes the brain, the brain just can't fight it off. The brain swells, and it causes the animal to just basically go crazy, get super aggressive. And because they become afraid of water, they start to dehydrate, but they also salivate. So, it's a really thick mucus. It's drooling all over the place, and because you're not drinking water, you're not diluting the virus into the water. So when it bites something, it's like, yeah, you're getting rabies. Like that's how this thing spreads, and it's fucking nuts. And it's still there. And yes, we have a vaccine that if you get it bit by an animal, you're gonna be fine. It can take care of it. But once those symptoms show, that's it. ADF&G said the virus detected in the moose was the same variant of rabies circulating in Arctic foxes this past winter, suggesting the moose contracted the virus from a fox. Rabies is enzootic in Arctic and red fox populations along the northern and western coast of Alaska, meaning the disease is always present but at very low levels. Every now and again, a flare-up of infections leads to an outbreak in foxes that can spill over to dogs, wolves, caribou, and polar bears. However, this is the first rabid moose ever documented in Alaska. Previous cases of the disease and moose have been recorded in South Dakota, Minnesota, Canada, and Russia. But rabies diagnosis in these animals is rare because they are solitary, according to a statement. Moose are the largest member of the deer family. The Alaskan Yukon species, of which there are between 175,000 and 200,000 individuals in Alaska, is the bulkiest of these antlered creatures and can weigh up to 1,600 pounds. Jesus Christ. Scientists don't think this individual case is an indication of an outbreak or that it will lead to one in Alaska. Due to the largely solitary nature of the moose, it is unlikely that rabies outbreak will occur in the moose population, the statement said. However, until now, moose displaying signs of the disease were screened for rabies in Alaska. Booth's unprecedented case recorded. But this. God, I was like, what the hell is Boothus? Look at that. I'm not going crazy. It was pronounced Boothus. But this unprecedented case recorded has prompted new plans to increase surveillance and testing in wild animals found dead or killed in the region where fox rabies occurs, according to a statement. Very interesting. Rabies. Not something you want. Zoo anteater exposed to people with rabies in the first of its kind case. The unusual case marks the first time the rabies has been reported in this species of anteater. So this was last year. A Tennessee zoo had an anteater that had rabies and exposed more than a dozen people to the deadly virus. Did anyone? Okay, that's completely off topic. I mean, I guess rabies, but yeah. It's something that's always there. You always have to worry about it. But I think because it kills its victims so fast and it's like 100% effective, it's like, it's why COVID spread so quickly. Because it wasn't that dangerous compared to other diseases. Flu is actually a lot more dangerous than COVID, but it's not as transmissible, even though flu's pretty up there. So from my understanding, like the first round of COVID was bad. It was a lot worse. At least it was stronger. More people died. But as the new rounds started coming through, the updates, the software updates came through, it became less deadly, but more contagious. So a lot more people got it, but people weren't getting as sick. And it didn't affect everybody the same. That's how a lot of these viruses work. When the virus is too deadly, it spreads. It doesn't spread quick enough. It doesn't have time to spread before it kills the person. So that's why, like, Ebola and a couple of those diseases like that didn't really spread too far. I mean, they didn't get a chance to, because when someone got Ebola, they were knocked out and they weren't moving too much and they were dead. Like, there was a good chance of it. Rabies, I don't know if you can only pass it on when you start showing symptoms. I think that's the case. I think you can't pass it on until you start showing symptoms, because it starts coming out in the saliva, and that's like, it basically gets ready to have its attack. I think that's why that's the case. But basically, it kills animals out really quick, and unless it's something like a fox where, like, they can, if there's large numbers of them, they find other members easily, and then all of a sudden they're just biting each other and dying. Like that, an outbreak can happen in certain animals pretty easily and not that easily in others. And like moose is a great example. Like what? So I mean, it might make a moose aggressive, but like, is a moose gonna run up and start biting another moose? I don't think so. He might like ram into him, but I don't think he's gonna go up and start biting. It's not a fox or a dog or a cat or something that were like, or a bat, where like they use their mouth like that. These guys eat plants. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's why, he charged rather than tried to bite. I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. If that's the case, if I'm completely off base, also let me know, because I could be. But it seems to me like it basically burns too bright while it's burning, and then it doesn't really have time to get it around unless there's like a huge population. So like, if there's a bunch of if there's an outbreak of it, in a fox population, and the foxes have been doing really well, and they're surviving near human settlements, and there's a ton of them, and all of a sudden rabies gets out. Well, then you might have a problem with foxes coming into town and attacking people and giving people rabies. Luckily we were able to mitigate that. We're not going to have like a rabies epidemic where it runs through the human population, because we have the vaccine for it. Unless everyone just like gets bit by animals and just goes about their day and pretends like it never happened. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you like this kind of video. I try to make these videos because, one, they are easy for me to do. I'm reading an article and giving my 2 cents, but I like making these videos even if they don't do as well as my shorts, because it helps me kind of connect with you guys. You guys have a better understanding of how my mind works, and it's like a community building thing, I think. I like reading these articles and just going a little bit more in depth on them, and I feel like not many people, like, a lot of these articles would be pushed under the rug as well, like, not like hidden, but like, it's not like they would be like, you're not going to, most of you guys probably never heard of this article. I didn't until I looked it up. So being able to come out here and like, hey, like, this is happening, like, I'm interested in animals. I also like the news cycle, and this kind of covers both. So that's another reason why I do it. But if you guys like this stuff, let me know. You guys view them, so I'm happy with that. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Stay wild.